bromance of the century, the improbable union of the world's richest man with the world's most powerful.
That's 24 karat gold.
But all that glitters is not gold, and yet no one could have predicted a breakup as fast, as public, and as ugly as this.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
It was this public trashing of Musk in the White House yesterday that lit the fuse for the spectacular blow-up to come.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised.
Trump was furious that Musk had publicly criticized his big, beautiful bill as an abomination that would bankrupt America. But Musk was watching on in real time and hit back immediately. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Such ingratitude. The president then hit back on his own social media platform. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, and he just went crazy. And then came the threat. The easiest way to save money is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts, to which Musk quickly replied, "Go ahead, make my day."
The bromance is over.
The alliance between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful, Donald Trump, is imploding right now in real time before our very eyes.
The news networks could hardly believe time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. It was a jaw-dropping allegation that Musk compounded by sharing video of Trump with the deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Musk provided no evidence for his allegation, and there is none, but the accusation was nonetheless stunning. The Republicans on the Hill were quick to dismiss it.
Another accusation, another shiny object. There'll be another wreck on the interstate next week.
And are you not shocked by the allegations that he's in the Epstein files?
No, I don't give a about that.
He's accusing him, though, of being in the Epstein files.
Okay.
It's more than a billionaire spat, isn't it? Isn't this potentially dangerous for Donald Trump?
Look, you've heard some unbelievable things said on both sides. If he accused him on Epstein, what do the facts say? We're going to see everything, just like with John Kennedy murder. You bring everything out.
For the Democrats, the Schadenfreude was only too visible.
It was inevitable. We knew this was going to happen. This was like forecast that this would be something like the brick of a Macbeth play. You know, it's all these people that are power hungry, some fishing for power, for influence.
I suppose it was in the stars. Everybody was predicting it when it first began. You've got two gentlemen with gargantuan egos and both appearing to suffer from malignant narcissistic personality disorder. And they basically converged around a common platform of plunder and pillage of the American people.
Hasn't lasted very long, this loving.
I don't know that any of these things last very long. There'll be probably something tomorrow that'll get people all upset too.
As the spat played out, shares in Tesla plunged as investors feared a feud with Trump would inevitably hurt Musk's business empire, and it might, while Musk is hoping to derail the president's mega spending bill and is threatening to use his cash to hurt Republicans in next year's midterm elections. It's all a far cry from this. When the two men stood shoulder to shoulder outside the White House, showing off Musk's Teslas just 3 months ago. Now, the car Trump bought in support of his first buddy, a lonely symbol of their spectacular billionaire bust-up.
So now, what becomes of the broken-hearted? Their social media posts might look flippant, but with such enormous wealth and power, the feeds of Donald Trump and Elon Musk are really inconsequential. Or as one commentator, I'm just so glad that one of these men has the nuclear codes and the other has all our personal data. So what consequences could there now be in Washington and indeed in Silicon Valley? Here's Kieran Woodley.
He gave him and his campaign hundreds of millions to win the election. He gave him a seat at the table. He took a chainsaw to government waste. He gave him a golden key in thanks. But was this relationship, now disintegrating like a SpaceX rocket, always doomed to failure?
You have the president of the free world, the richest guy on earth, one of the smartest guys on earth. Conflicts, they're kind of predictable, aren't they?
Elon Musk was never really a true MAGA follower. A billionaire whose companies rely on global trade, a close relationship with China, and the electric vehicle revolution.
You will drill, baby, drill.
And all that goes against a tariff-loving nationalist movement that is all about oil and gas. That's why Steve Bannon, one of Trump's longtime supporters, has always accused Musk of being an opportunist.
They're not populists. You know, I tease Elon all the time. If I could turn him from a techno-feudalist globalist to a populist nationalist, we could make some progress here.
While the MAGA world rejoices, what will happen to the other tech billionaires who lined up to attend the inauguration?
I'm sure if we were in the boardrooms or in the private conversations with the tech lords today, they are extremely nervous about this fight and beginning to understand that there are fundamental elements of the MAGA movement that are not in sympathy with with the future they imagine.
That nervousness will depend on whether Trump hurts Musk, using the powers of the government to not just roll back electric vehicle subsidies, but perhaps even cut other federal contracts with Musk's SpaceX company. All this coming at a time when Musk is already feeling the economic and political pressure.
He's taken a series of hits and defeats. Doge is a failure. The Tesla brand has been deeply hurt both domestically and internationally by his fervent support for MAGA. So I think it's probably an accumulation of defeats that made him wake up one morning and say, wow,
If the president holds the most cards, can Musk direct his chainsaw at Trump and pose his own threat? Because he claims that his nearly $300 million in last year's election is the reason why the Republicans now control all three branches of government. And with President Trump facing tricky midterm elections next year, could a prolonged breakup lead to Musk causing Trump an electoral headache?
I can tell you that congressional Republicans are getting anxious about this. Elon Musk has a lot of money. He spent nearly $300 million to help Trump get elected. For a lot less, he could be influential when it comes to congressional elections. And some of these Republicans are wondering, is Elon actually going to come and spend money against me if I vote for this bill? And $1 million in a tough congressional district goes a very long way.
Musk did plow millions into a Wisconsin Supreme Court race early this year, and he lost. And that will give him pause. But both men know that if their bromance was a wild ride, their breakup will have just as many twists and turns. The Republican Party and the American people are holding their breath ahead of the next move.
Well, the US political consultant Frank Luntz joins me now from Oxford. Frank, it's great to have you back on the program. Why did this escalate so quickly and so publicly, do you think?
Because they're so well known. These are two that's known by everyone who's watching this show. We've known that Elon Musk is brilliant. As one of your commentators said, we know that Donald Trump is the most powerful political person in the world. And I don't know of any time since Franklin Roosevelt issues with some of the industrialists in 1933, 1934, you have to go back almost 100 years for this situation to replicate itself. And that was before social media, that was before cable news. So you've got the technology, you've got the interest on the public, you've got so much money involved, so much politics, people are paying attention.
But in terms of the substance of their relationship, I guess you could say a breakup was inevitable because, you know, Musk has the biggest factory for Teslas in China. He didn't like the tariffs, you know, the MAGA crowd.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow our page for more real-time updates and global headlines.